Sequences. These are just fancy words for saying a pattern of numbers. We use these to be able to model financial problems and also things involving interest and compound interest. But let's start with some of the basics. So what is a sequence? A sequence is a list of numbers written in order or pattern. Each number is called a term. We use commas to separate the numbers and an ellipses, it's the brackets with the dot, 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 to indicate that the sequence goes on and on and on. For example, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this is a sequence increasing by 1 each time. Sequences need a starting value, often referred to as V0. So if you ever hear me say the phrase V0, I'm talking about this little cherub here. Obviously, this can be substituted for any other capital letter that we decide to name the sequence. And a rule. So the rule is the instructions that we need to follow to generate the sequence. Example 8a.1. Write down the first 6 terms with a starting value of 10 and the rule subtract 4 from each term. So the first thing we need to identify here is the initial term. So our initial term is 10, and we're subtracting 4 from each of these. So the next one along, if you can imagine that the initial is V0, the next one along will be V1, which will be 10 take away 4, which will be equal to 6. And then the next term, because we're subtracting 4 from each term, V2, this will be 6 take away 4, which is equal to 2. And then V3 is 2 take away 4, which is negative 2. V4, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th value here. Negative 2 minus 4 is equal to negative 6. And V5 here is going to be negative 6 minus 4, which is equal to negative 10. So that's our working out, but we just need to write it as a list. So we can just write the answer of being 10, 6, 2, negative 2, negative 6, negative 10. And there are the first 6 terms of this sequence. Example 8a.2. Write down the first 5 terms of sequence with starting value 3 and the rule triple and subtract 5. So here we go, we're going to go and start with, so we'll get our V0 is equal to 3. And this time we're tripling and then subtracting 5. So the next one is going to be 3 and then we're tripling it. So times 3. And then we're going to subtract 5. So this is going to be equal to 3 times 3 is equal to 9. Take away 5. Which is equal to 4. Then V2 is going to be equal to 4, and then we're going to triple 4, and then take away 5. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then we're going to take away 5, so that's going to be equal to 7. V3, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th term in the sequence so far. So this is 7 times 3, take away 5. 7 times 3 is 21. Take away 5 should get you 16. V4, so is this the last one? We need the first 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So the first 5 terms, so this is 16 times 3, take away 5, so 16 times 3. So 16 times 2 is going to be 32. 32 plus another 16 is 48. We're going to take away 5, that gets me 43. So my first 5 terms of the sequence are 3, 4, 7, 16, and 43. Example 8a.3. the 15th term of the arithmetic sequence 87, 80, 73, 66 is? Okay, so now we need to know what the 15th number is. Well, it probably would be useful for us to be able to identify what the pattern is. So from 87 to 80, it's going down by 7. From 80 to 73, that's going down by 7. From 73 down to 66, it's going down by 7. So it seems to be a consistent pattern of going down by 7. So therefore, if I want the 15th sequence, I'm going to start from 87. Now I could just write minus 7, minus 7, minus 7, minus 7, minus 7. But if there is, if we want the 15th one later, well, 87 is the first term. So then we just need to subtract 7 14 more times. So 14 times 7. So 14 times 7 is 98. So this will become negative 11. So again, where did I get that 14 from? Remember, we wanted the 15th term. The initial term is always included in the sequence. So whatever we start with is always included. And this is a rookie mistake that is often made. So we took 87. That was the first term. The 15th term would be 14 terms later. So we're just going to keep minusing 7, 14 more times, which we can summarize here. The answer